Hello mates, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful and stylish Queen Anne neckline design. So if you don't know, there is a tutorial on how to make the regular Queen Anne neckline, that is how to draft it. So I made a video, so if you haven't seen it, please go ahead and see that. But in this video I'll be teaching you how to make this stylish Queen Anne neckline, also how to fix it on your bodies, and also how to make the back pattern, which you'll be seeing soon. The back pattern is also stylish. I'll be teaching you how to fix that, how to cut it, how to sew it, and also how to fix it. So if this is something you're interested in, please like my video, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get started. Welcome back, guys. So this is our yoke, which is folded into two. So I measured 2.5 over there, and I measured 2 inches down here. This is just to draw an imaginary neckline, though we won't be using this. So we just draw it so that I can just show you that, okay, if it was to be a neckline, this is how it will look. So at this lower part here, I don't want my Queen Anne neckline to be too wide at the lower part, so we're using 3 inches. Now when I open it, that will be 6 inches. But if you want it to be wider than that, you can use 3.5 or 4 inches depending on how wide. I noticed that when it is wide, the bust tends to show and it does not stay well. But if you want it to be wider, maybe you are a bigger person, you can use 3.5 to 4. So whatever you have left at this part, you divide it into 2. So for me, I have 4.5. So dividing 4.5 into 2, I have 2.1, like 2.25 inch. So from that 1.25 inch, I'll just do a straight line upward. Or if you know you are not sure it will be a straight line, divide whatsoever you have upward 2 by 2, then you connect the point. So at this point here, I take out 1 inches to both sides, 1 to one side, 1 to the other side, and I'll be connecting it down like this. So I'll be connecting it down like this. So the next thing to do is to label what I have left, because it can be confusing. So the next thing I'll do is to label this. So the part I mark there is what I don't want, the part I don't want. So the label, I'll label it up and down so that I can know. So after cutting out the unwanted parts, this is what it looks like. So if you want to cut your fabric, you can either cut it as a whole piece like this, or you can just divide this stuff into 2. So cutting it as a whole piece like this, it will be quite hard because of turning at this sharp edge at the lower part. So the best thing to do is to just divide this into 2. So just divide into 2. So as you know that there is a 2 inches space here, so just divide this into 2. So whenever you want to fix it on your bodies, you just know there is a 2 inches gap here. So I'm labeling this part too so that I can know how to fix it. So that's the first one and that's the second one. So let's go ahead and work on our back bodies. So for our back bodies, it has a zipper allowance at this side, and the neckline is 2.5 by 1 inch. So I'll just go down by 1 inch there, and I'll go up by ½ inch at this area. Then I'll be connecting it like in a cycle form. I want to draw a cycle at this area. So what I will do is, most of the time I divide whatsoever I have into 2. Then from that point I will go inward by 1, or depending on how wide you want your cycle to be, you can use 1.5 or 2. So then you connect like this, just to form a cycle. I hope you understand, just to form a cycle. So I'll be connecting this part to like this, and this other part to like that. Then I'll be cutting it. Please, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, please kindly do that now. Thank you. So after cutting it, I'll just go ahead and cut my neckline too. As I said earlier, the neckline depth is 1 inches by 2.5. So this part I'll be cutting it out because it will go in. You will understand very soon. It will enter. So after it has entered into the bodice, it won't really show. Why this part will be for the overlapping, because there'll be a press button at that area. So the overlapping, that's what that side will be meant for. So now let's go ahead and cut our net fabric. So this is my net fabric. I went ahead to cut 2 each because I want to double the net, and I reduced that button part because it will be too much. So this is what I'm talking about. This is how the cycle will look like, and that's the overlapping at the top, and that's the lower part. So for the front bodies, this is what I did. I also folded it. I folded this in and I cut out 2. As you can see, this is what I have. I've not ironed this yet. That is why it is looking like this. This is what it will look like. Then you make sure the space upward is 2 inches when you are fixing it. So this is for the other side too. I'm trying to arrange it so that you can see. So for the first yoke of this part, I sew it in like inward, but the other one has an opening because you know it will be, that opening will be at that armhole area. So this is my bodice. If you want to know how to draft this, I already have a tutorial. The link will be in the comment section, to be pinned in the comment section. So this is the back bodice too. I went ahead to cut my lining and also my facing because this is a lace fabric. So now after joining your main bodies, you've went ahead to join it. So whatever you mark, you know, when we were drafting our pattern, we mark out 3 inches, but when you want to fix this, you'll be fixing it with 3.5 because we've sewn this part with 1/2 inch. So I hope you understand. When we were drafting the yoke, we used 3 inches, but when you want to fix, you use 3.5. Please note. So at that point, you fix this by pinning it down like this, and the other one too will be beside it because from the pattern we drafted earlier before dividing it, it was beside each other. So you go ahead and pin like this. So you do the same thing too for the other side, that is the left hand side, the same thing too, and you make sure you are pinning correctly so that the outcome will be nice. So you go ahead and do the same thing too for this other side. You measure 3.5 from the midpoint. Then you place your yoke there. Make sure you are placing the right side. That's why I labeled it up and down so that you can know which one should be up and which one should be down. So you just go ahead and pin. Then after pinning, you use your lining to just sew this in. You sew it in, then you flip it over. So after flipping it over, this is what I have. I've not ironed at this point. I'll soon iron and you will see. So this is what it looks like, and as you can see, there will be a 2 inches space at the upper parts. I hope you understand. So for the back bodies too, so since you've went ahead to sew your net with 1/4 inches, then my allowance at this part is 1.5 inches. But looking at this lace and the underlay I have is looking shorter, so I'll go ahead and trim this lace. The lace is kind of longer than the overlay, so I'll make sure it is the same. So now I'll measure my 1.5, then from there I'll be fixing this inside. I'll be fixing this at the point. So you just pin it down like this. You pin it down, then you'll be using your okay. Before we cover it up, let's do the same thing too for this side. Measure 1.5 at this area, Then from that 1.5 point, that's where you fix your yoke. Please and please, if you haven't give this video a thumbs up yet, please just give it a thumbs up, please. Thank you. So you go ahead and pin this part also. Then the next thing you'll be doing is to use the lining just to cover it. Then you sew like that to that other side. Just sew with your seam allowance. Mine is 1/2 inch. I'll just be sewing. So after sewing, this is what I have. So when I fix the zip, this is how it will look. So when I fix the zip, this is what it will look like. Yeah, this is what it will look like. So the next thing to do is to join the front and the back together. So that is what I'll be showing you now, how to fix the front and the back together. So now you pin this, you open the net and you push the lace, that is the front, inside, and you will be using one of the nets to sew and the other one to cover. So you will just pin at first with the first net, just like this, as if you open it up. Then you pin gently. You shouldn't rush at this point. Then you measure 2 inches. After you've pinned, you know there's a 2 inches gap. You measure 2 inches, and after the 2 inches, you fix the second part. I hope you understand. So you measure 2 inches on the net, and you make sure you are not stretching the net, because sometimes the nets can be stretchy, and if you stretch the net, it won't give you your desired result. So there's a 2 inches space here. There's a 2 inches space there. Then you use the other net just to cover it up. Then you sew. So let me do the same thing too for this other part so that you can understand better. So you fix the first part. You fix the first part like that. Make sure you are fixing it well. Fix the first part. Then you measure 2 inches away from that first part. Then you place your second part there. Then you pin. So after pinning, you use the other nets. So this is the 2 inches. Then you use the other net to cover, then you sew. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. As you can see, that's the 2 inches space. So then you go ahead and join your main fabric and everything. So if you want a tutorial on how I made this draping at the front, and there's also a draping at the waist, please signify in the comment section and I will upload the video as soon as possible. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, it is very nice and it is very beautiful and also stylish. So if you want to see the regular queen and for the regular queen and there is no opening, that is that 2 inches opening we have. So that one does not have it. If you want to see the pattern of that one, the link is in the description box and it is also pinned in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, for liking this video, for sharing this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.